Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to remote learning, boys and girls. This is third week, and we are going to start with the second lesson of grade 5 social studies. Students, we have started chapter number 24, that is from our history section. This chapter is about East India Company. In our previous chapters, we talked about that the East India Company was settled within the subcontinent for the trade purposes. Britishers come here for the trade, and trade was mainly done in form of cloths, especially silk, spices, and some more things like jewelry. But with the passage of time, the trade demanded their stay within the region. So for that purpose, they built their staying station, and they also made their influence within the region. By the help of some nobles and also with the aid of some traitors, they were able to fight with the local rulers, and then after defeating them, they hold their grip within the region. We talked about that there were certain men who came in the subcontinent for the ruling purposes, like Clive, but they had their strong influence after fighting with the local rulers like Sirajud-Dowla, and once they won the war against the local rulers, they hold their grip within the region, and that is how their influence was increasing day by day. Now we were discussing about the fight of Sirajud-Dowla, who was a young ruler, and his fight with the Clive continued, and but his own general, Mr. Jafar, who was Mir Jafar, he helped the Britishers in the sense that he didn't allow his people or army person to fight with the British army. So that is why they lost the battle, means the Sirajud-Dowla's troops, they lost the battle, and here was a disaster in the region. So today we will discuss more about this. This was what we have discussed up till now. Today we will talk about the Battle of Plassey and role of Mr. Jafar, and we will also discuss about what were the after effect after the victory of Britishers within the region. So let's start with the Battle of Plassey. This battle was held between Sirajud-Dowla and the Britishers. The Battle of Plassey was a disaster for Siraj's troops. Mir Jafar, I told you earlier that he was a traitor, and he was at the designation of general of the army of Sirajud-Dowla. Mir Jafar kept his soldier out of the fighting, and Siraj's army, their gunpowder wet and useless in the sudden thunderstorm, fled. So what happened? There were 2 points. One, Sirajud-Dowla's army and his soldiers, they were kept out of fight by the general Mir Jafar. And secondly, due to thunderstorm, the gunpowder of their armors, it become wet and useless. So that's how they have to run away from the battlefield. So this is how Sirajud-Dowla was helpless, and he himself was captured and murdered by Britishers. So I am going to repeat this again. There were 2 reasons of Siraj's armies why they lost the battle. The one reason was they were kept out of the fight by the order of their general, Mir Jafar, and secondly, the gunpowder of armor became wet due to thunderstorm, and so it became useless. And the remaining people, even those people who were fighting, they have to go away and they fled from the battlefield. So this is how Britishers they captured and murdered Sirajuddaulah. Mir Jafar was made Nizam. So for the as a you can say reward of his services as a traitor, Mir Jafar was made Nizam. Nizam means the governing position at that time was of that of Nizam. So he was made Nizam, but he was forced to pay the East India Company 10 million rupees for the damage caused to Fort William. We discussed about it that Sirajuddaullah's men they destroyed and they damaged the Fort William. And so once Mir Jafar was made Nizam, the British army imposed a tax in the form of rupees from in order to compensate the damage of Fort William, and 16 million each of Clive and several other officials. So some more amount was given to the Clive and his other people who were official. So what happened as a result of this? A quarter of the whole of the revenue of Bengal had to be handed over to the British each year, but as there was no enough money, Mir Jafar was forced to sell huge amount of his own jewels. So this was you can say payback of for Mir Jafar as well. In order to compensate the loss, he also had to sell his jewelry to give money to the Britishers and especially the officials. Clive was made governor and returned to Britain 4 years later, a very rich man. So after collecting the money, Clive became rich, of course, and he went back to Britain after 4 years. Now the plunder of Bengal, the East India Company now plundered Bengal, imposing the heavy taxes and forcing the rich people to pay huge bribes. They compelled Mir Jafar to free British private traders from their taxes. So this is how the rich and the noble class was under the heavy taxation and bribes, and those who were the Britishers, they were given favor in the sense that they were made free from heavy taxes. The officials no longer traded for the company but just made a fortunes for themselves. So even if they were not trading, they were also given the favor of relief of taxations. So this is how they were happy and fortunate at that time. The East India Company's profits fell very rapidly. So what happened? The next governor from the England blamed Mr. Jafar for the terrible poverty in Bengal, with the tens of thousands of the people starving to death, when the real fault lay in the greed of the British traders. So this was the time that Mr. Mir Jafar was blamed and punished by the next governor. So it was thought that his policies was not correct and the people were dying from hunger. So what was done with Mir Jafar? So let's see. Mir Jafar was driven. This is page number 111, boys and girls. You can see from here. The previous one was page number 110. Mir Jafar was driven out and his son-in-law Mir Qasim was put onto the throne. So he was driven out and his son-in-law Mir Jafar was put onto the throne. Mir Qasim was a stronger man than Mir Jafar and at once took away many of the privileges of the company. So he was a better administrator. The company's army then drove him out and put Mir Jafar back on the throne. Since Mir Qasim was not filling their dream, he was not fulfilling their wishes, so they put Mr. Jafar back on the throne. Mir Qasim went to the old Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, who had virtually no powers at all, and to the Nawab of Awadh to help him recover his throne, but they were heavily defeated by the East India Company army at the Battle of Buxar in 1764. So again, since his son-in-law was a better person and he was doing some better things which were not liked by Britishers, so that's why they returned throne to Mr. Mir Jafar, and but this time Mir Qasim asked help from the Shah Alam II and the Nawab of Awadh, which at their own places those people were helpless at that time also. The old emperor was forced to go to the person to British camp to surrender. So the emperor was surrendered. He was given back his throne as a Mughal emperor and 26 lakhs of rupees a year, but in reality he was completely in the hands of the company, which collected taxes in the region and squeezed the poor people even more. So what happened? There was no use of return of throne to the Mughal emperor. So what happened? Again, the people were in trouble. The people who were the common people. Things became so bad that in 1765 the East India Company sent Clive back to India again to stop the corruption. Now corruption was at its peak, so East India Company again decided to bring back Mr. Clive. Clive appointed two Indians to return to the tax collection, and he set up a reasonably honest police force and law courts. So he tried to compensate by appointing the honest officials so that the situation could become better. After the Clive's return to England, several more British governors followed, but they were weak and administration in the country went back to its old corrupt ways. So once the corruption sets in the roots of any state or any you can say department, it results in the weakening of the system and weakening of the whole organization. So this is how the India itself became weakened and the governing was very difficult at that time. So corruption was making its grip within the roots of the administration. So there was no use of appointment of the honest officials even at that time. So this is how the things becomes worst with the passage of time. So boys and girls, this is all for today's discussion. We will do some written work which is related with this whole paragraph. Let's start. There are two small questions for today. Number one is, what was the role of Mir Jafar in the Battle of Plassey? We have discussed this. The Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757 between the Siraj-ud-Daulah and British Army. And secondly, Mir Jafar was a general and traitor. Thirdly, during the war, he stopped and kept a soldier out of fighting. So Siraj-ud-Daulah lost the battle. So our next question is, what was the effect of British victory in Bengal? After the victory in Bengal, British government imposed heavy taxes and extorted bribes from the rich people. So that was all for today, boys and girls. Read the chapter, read the page 110 and 111 carefully and do the written work and submit it in the Google Classroom timely. See you soon inshallah. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.